If you love quiet luxury and quality craftsmanship, you'll love today's episode. Hi, my name is Mayuri Nagar and I am at the MyTyles Experience Center in Bengaluru. Today we're talking about stone cladding. MyTyles boasts of one of the largest collections of imported and homegrown tiles. Curating global trends and attractive designs under one roof, MyTyles is your one-stop shop for all your tiling needs. Browse, save and shop your favorites at mytyles.com today. So, as I always talk about the history and evolution of all the different materials that we have discussed so far in the knowledge series, for this one as well, we're going to understand what was the origin of stone cladding, how did it come about in the industry, and what was it typically used for. So, with the European origin, stone claddings were essentially used as a insulating material because you would typically find these used in colder countries, right? So they would basically keep the heat inside the room intact and therefore creating warmer spaces. But today this particular craft has developed an eco-friendly approach. Since stone cladding as a material is handmade and is a natural material, its demand is way higher than its production, and therefore it's one of those rare things that one can really bring home and just accentuate its space. But it really is something that comes in different sizes, textures, colors. It has plethora of options. All of this put together never ever discourages customers because they're happy to wait out and actually get the product home to create that uniqueness that their space craves. So to summarize, stone cladding is a natural and eco-friendly art, and from an aesthetic point of view, it really helps you level up any space very easily. So now that we have learnt about the history and evolution of stone cladding, let's move on to what is the base material that can be used to create stone cladding. If you're going and buying it from MyTyles, what is it that you can expect? So stone claddings are made from natural materials, natural stones like limestone, sandstone, marble, granite, etc. And therefore, because of this, they are extremely coveted pieces. With the technological advancements today, these kind of stones can be manufactured in factories, but the factory manufactured stones that are available or stone veneers that are available can only mimic it to a certain extent. I don't think that they contain the superiority of the stone cladding that's available in the market. And of course, they're cheaper, but they really cannot be the real deal. Looking at some finishes that you can expect in these natural stone claddings is, polished, matte, lepato, leather finish, or even, stone faced. So these are different finishes that you can expect. So let's look at the first finish, which is the matte finish. It's also how a raw stone would look like. So if you're looking for something very rustic, I would suggest that this is the finish that you can actually go for in a stone cladding material. The second one that we're looking at over here is the glossy finish. So the raw matte finish that we just saw, when it is polished, it actually gives you a gloss over here. You can see that light is almost reflecting away from this particular piece over here. And then when we are moving on to the leather finish is a very textured finish. It's not so much polished, and you can see that the unevenness of the texture is what makes it really unique. It has those color tones that are changing, and you can actually see that my hand is not evenly flowing through it. So that is what the beauty of this particular finish is. Looking at the next finish, which is the lepato finish. So lepato has its uniqueness, especially for say modern spaces where you do want to add up a bit of glam and it's a very well lit space. Lepato makes an ideal material, stone cladding that can be used. Here the stone is uneven, but it also has some spurts of beautiful, glossiness that's there. So it gives it a stone finish, but with the right kind of lighting, you've got a beautiful piece going on over here. The next one that we're looking at is the sandblasted one. So essentially what does really sandblasted mean over here is that it has a very raw, almost as if mattish but textural finish over here, typically created by actually blasting sand on it, and under very high pressure you can actually have this beautiful finish which mimics nice rough, again a very rustic vibe, can be used in several spaces. This is definitely my favorite right now, which is the stone faced. Of course, all of us like the real stone look in case of stone cladding. So again, over here, if you see, this is mimicking exactly as if a piece of stone has been cut out and planted over here. So this is that gives you a real, like an actual cave stone kind of vibe. So these are the different finishes that we wanted to talk to you about, so that when we reference them in the video, you can relate to them. So when we look at the stone cladding designs, there are two starkly different categories. One is the handcrafted mosaics, and second is the CNC cut panels or CNC cut stone cladding designs that are there. So when we look at the handcrafted mosaics, now if you look at over here closely, you will see that this entire pattern is very intricately designed. And when we talk about a mosaic is literally when we glue small pieces of stone, and this can be any material of stone or any shape of stone. When it's glued onto a mesh, it creates a panel which is basically a handcrafted mosaic panel. So this is a beautiful mosaic pattern over here, and what makes it extremely interesting and unique is that mosaics have this uneven finish. Now, if you see that the light over here, a track light, if you add them on top of these, you will see that the fall of the light is very uneven. Somewhere you will see the light is blocked, and somewhere it's having a free flow. That gives it that beautiful look that you're seeking. Now, this is a marble stone cladding which is created into a mosaic, and therefore when we look at from an application perspective, Vastu dictates that marble is a great material to be used in our puja rooms, right? So a very, very amazing material to be used in puja rooms is this, and especially when you pick up something either CNC cut or for that matter even mosaic, it will allow that space to have the right aesthetics in line with the Vastu of that particular room. So great hit at puja rooms. So now here we are looking at the Greenbasa marble mosaic stone cladding. Very, very beautiful greens that you can see with a little bit of reds and browns showing in over here within the stone. You mount it on a wall, in your TV unit, and boom, you've got a total superstar in your living room, a great focal point, great conversation piece. Very, very easy to amp up any space super quickly with these stone claddings. Another variant, if you like to have earthy hues and you like staggered mosaic, is this one over here. This is a staggered mosaic over here which we're looking at, So if you see, all of these are marbles, but they have different color gradients. So if you're looking at nice terracotta brown, and then there's some beautiful yellows. So all this multicolor look is also great if you want to add that extra color in your space. So if you like darker hues, these are available in stone cladding options, especially in slate and granite. Here you will see for, the uses are very much popular in outdoor garden spaces, or even creating a very beautiful water piece like waterfalls, giant waterfalls. For providing the aesthetics for such accents, these are, broken into really small, like almost crisp, thinner crisp sections like these, so that they provide that aesthetic of a cascading water on top of it, or just the light really falling. If you add beautiful downlight or track lights in your outdoor section, you will have the light flow on it really, really well. So this is a great use of an application of these darker hued slate and granite stone cladding. So now we've looked at very interesting color gradients available in different materials in stone cladding. Another popular material that's available is the sandstone teakwood color. Sandstone also comes in mint, but teakwood seems to have more popularity amongst customers and clients. Simply because while here we have created a mosaic of it, because the hues are warmer, their perfect application is for entertainment units, or TV units, and even for that matter foyers that you can use them in. They can easily be juxtapositioned together in big and small blocks because of the reason that they are not very heavy on color. They are not on the very dark side. So they keep the space looking light. Another very beautiful application of these days and has caught the eyes and attentions of our customers is when you kind of juxtaposition it with bigger pieces of, say, deities or interesting motifs that are there. You can easily put them in between and then surround them with these beautiful stone cladding material over here, which is sandstone teakwood. So if you're looking for this shade and you like it, remember it's sandstone teakwood over here. Speaking of sandstone teakwood, we're looking at another piece, beautiful piece panel over here, where the color is slightly darker than the previous one. And if you look at closely over here, which I wanted to highlight over here, was that the 3D geometric cuts that you can see over here make a huge difference. They make it really luscious and beautiful to look at. Again, same applications in TV units, foyers, wherever that your mind can fancy using these. This can be easily applied. You can also switch these smaller panels here and there, which can make a world of a difference. So it's literally up to your imagination where you would like to plug these pieces, of a small panel that you can put them and create a bigger one. So the next topic that we are going to cover today is the CNC stone cladding designs. Within the stone cladding designs by CNC, there are two types. One is a panel and one is CNC mosaic stone cladding. The difference between the two is that when we are looking at a panel, it is one single piece that is created by using CNC, and in the next one which we will talk about is mosaics that are created by CNC and how they are put together on a panel to create a mosaic. Now let's look at here. This is a very exquisite, beautiful piece created by CNC. It's a CNC panel, stone cladding, and these are, of course, one of the most popular deities in the interior business that is used typically are the Buddhaji. Just look at the beautiful clean lines that are there, and the reason is that CNC, because it is computerized control that is used to use the tools that actually cut or carve out these pieces, the finish is so sophisticated, the look is so clean. Look at the lines, every feature that you see over here, even the leaves over here are very beautifully carved out of a stone, which is unfortunately not so possible with a hand chipping that happens, and therefore the look, the delivery of the finished product is really marvelous. Great pieces to be used in your puja rooms, in your foyers, in your other aesthetic outdoor areas as well, along with other elements that you would like to add of the mosaic based stone cladding around it. And therefore these are called as the mural designs as well, which you see they're almost like wall murals that you see, but very 3D kind of an effect that is created. Geometric designs, natural elements, deity designs are the most popular in these category. Ganesha ji, Venkateshwara ji and Buddha Jis are one of the popular categories within deities that get asked for most of the time. So we've seen now what are CNC panels. Let's look at what are CNC motif based stone claddings that are available. So if we come closer and we'll take a look at these have been CNC carved. These each small blocks. These are mosaics as well, but these have been carved and then they have been hand polished to give it a very nice finished, shiny look. These we're looking at is different types of marbles over here with different colors, and they have been juxtapositioned in a very beautiful way to create a beautiful pattern over here that can be laid in different spaces. You can also alternate them with these beautiful floral or nature inspired motifs with, say, some simple hand polished blocks as well, or just plain ones that can go and create maybe a checkered pattern or anything of that sort. Beauty of CNC is the beauty of its precision. If you look at something like a very small piece over here, which is absolutely gorgeous. Look at these beautiful flowers. Every petal has its gorgeousness coming out of it, simply because the precision of the tool that was used was computerized, and therefore everything, every detail, even the nose, the lips of the deity have been carved out so beautifully. So if you're looking for something which is extremely detailed and minutely, clear, then this is the way to go. We'll also see some beautiful floral patterns that you can look at how they have been placed along with hand polished stones or even just simple blocks. They look great together. Let's look at that one as well. So again, we are looking at some very interesting metallic motifs over here, plugged in between these blocks. Of course, there are different kind of depths and sizes that are used over here. The shapes are also different. Somewhere we've used squares, somewhere we've used larger squares, smaller rectangles. Very cute tree that has been placed, and again it is absolutely up to your imagination how many of these you would like to have, how many or how bigger in size would you like to go ahead with these motifs. So MyTyles offers you these kind of beautiful, amazing options of customization over here. We look at the next one over there again. So here we are looking at the metallic CNC motifs. These have been juxtapositioned against these beautiful slabs to create a stone cladding panel. MyTyles allows you to actually customize these panels for your home or for your any commercial space, residential commercial space. You can make these motifs smaller or bigger. Metal ones are also present that are available that you can actually customize for your liking. The sizes, even the number of the motifs that can be placed is possible, as per your liking. The next motif that we are looking over here is a very popular one in especially Bohemian spaces, which is Monstera delicosa leaves. These leaves are present almost everywhere, but if you'd like them to become a part of your panel, you can also choose options to make it smaller, bigger. You can choose the number, the placement. So many options to really do that kind of work. I'm also going to show you some colored mosaic stone claddings now. Let's go and have a look quickly. So now we are looking at the colored, very interesting mosaics that are laid against, sandstone teakwood pattern. But here, what is the beauty here is that, of course, you see the same precision which is delivered by CNC, but you're also looking at beautiful colors that are available. Again, these are finishes that you can customize. You can choose your color options, the height, the width, the length of or the number of pieces, motifs that you would like to insert in this particular panel. So that's a great option to choose from. So here I'm finishing the CNC chapter on a very beautiful and sweet note with this absolutely gorgeous and stunning panel of Radha Krishna ji. Done in CNC. I mean, just look at the detail we see over here. Just this one panel in any space can absolutely make it a magnificent space to be in the company of these beautiful deities. Just look at the detail of everything and how these beautiful flowers have been crafted. Even the trees and every detail of this really, really beautiful panel is just a sight to behold. So before we move on to details of installation and maintenance, just wanted to showcase this beautiful piece to you all. Let's get and go and dive into the installation bit shot. So we finally made it to the installation part, but the installation part is the trickiest part. The reason that it is the trickiest part is because we are installing stone cladding. It's not a very light material. So we always recommend speaking to your contractor or the expert who's laying this stone cladding in your home or in your space, commercial, residential. Always ensure that you choose the right adhesive. So typically a 7-star or a 9-star adhesive needs to be used to lay these beautiful stone claddings. Again, you have grey stone and white stone adhesives. Grey stone adhesives are used for darker hued claddings like grey and black ones, and white stone adhesives are used for laying a whiter or lighter tone stone claddings available. Now let's talk about the exact process and what really lays behind laying a stone cladding over here. So when we look at the stone cladding, this is of course what you see, but what goes at the back is the mesh. So if we come closer to this particular piece over here, you will see that there is a mesh on which these pieces have been beautifully laid, and therefore it is extremely important to use the right kind of adhesive to stick it. One thing which you need to ensure in this case is that the adhesive cannot be left for a later stage to be wiped off, because unlike tiles, these adhesives are extremely strong and dry out really quickly. So the wiping off of the excess material has to happen then and there itself. It cannot wait till later, otherwise it will leave marks on this, and that would not be great. So the next piece that I was talking about is a part of, finally you've installed everything and everything is ready. What do you do after that? See, these are very natural, this is a natural material, so they are porous by nature. In order to increase their longevity and to prevent, dust settling in or clouding to happen, you need to apply something called as the sealant. And the sealant will basically seal these pores, preventing them from getting stained or, being clouded by dust, etc. For that, what you need to do is, these sealants are available in the market at any hardware store. These are like sprays. So what you need to do is just spray them like this. And that's it. Your job is done. See? So as you see, it will also increase the definition of the color. It will give it a new life. Typically, you don't need to reseal so often, but whenever you see that there has been a bit of the dust settlement that won't go away with regular maintenance, you can definitely go ahead and do that. But for the first time use after you've laid, as a part of installation, you definitely need to seal these natural materials because they're porous. So we're finally into the last section of all that you wanted to know about stone cladding, the maintenance section. So the maintenance section, we're going to be talking about how often do you need to maintain this beautiful piece of art and material. So stone claddings need to be maintained fairly regularly. If you're doing a basic dust off regularly, it will take care of your stone cladding. But if you're not doing it so regularly, it can be a little tough. So best way is clean them once weekly with a soft brush. Great way to maintain them. You can reapply sealants with 5 to 7 years, within 5 to 7 years, basically, because sealants will decay over time as any material that needs to be cleaned. Anything that is used to seal them will wipe off with, regular cleaning or maintenance. So that's something that you need to take care of. Rest, I think it's a very easy material to maintain. So not at all. Please don't confuse stone cladding with stone veneers. Stone veneers are basically a foam or a stone particle that is mixed with plastic layer over there. So what they basically create is a very thin layer of stone, or this composite layer of foam or stone that you can actually think about. So this really thin stone cannot replicate what a stone cladding is. Stone cladding is an actual natural material that is used to put over there. So that is the major difference. Stone veneers cannot give you the exact effect that a stone cladding can, and also are far cheaper in price. So the answer is yes. It's about 70 to 80 rupees per square feet. It is an expensive product, but the reason it is so expensive is, one, it's a natural material that is used to create stone cladding. Secondly, the demand is really more than the way it is available in the market today. The supply of it, the production of it, and also, like, if you think that this is something that you want, there are but you don't have the budget to support it, there are options like ceramic or vitrified tiles that mimic stone cladding patterns. So you can go for those. But if you definitely want the real deal, I don't think you're going to regret spending that extra money, because this is definitely one of those coveted pieces you'd like in your home. Yes, the answer to that is yes, a big yes, because installation process is labor intensive. It requires a special skill, and you cannot just simply apply it to any area. The strength of that particular area, the wall, has to be measured and understood before we can actually go ahead and. With regular maintenance, stone cladding is very easy to maintain, so you need not worry about it at all. POP and plywood are different materials. Stone claddings cannot be installed on POP for sure, because POP does not hold that kind of strength to have a heavy material being clad on it. But if you look at plywood, a well strength one, the one which has a lot of strength in it, that kind of plywood can be used to lay these beautiful stone claddings, and can be laid on it. But again, like I would say, you would need some supervisory or some supervision or an expert to tell you what kind of strength that particular plywood would need, so that that particular stone cladding can be clad on top of it. We hope you enjoyed this episode of ours on stone cladding, a beautiful material. For more such videos, you must subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more that's coming up. We have lots in store for you. Until the next one, adios amigos.